Welcome to NaijaTrends TV, where African tales are filled with drama and unforgettable twists. Today's story follows OMA, a young girl enduring betrayal and cruelty, betrayed by her stepmother. Caught in a deadly village war. Her strength leads her to an unlikely bond with an enemy prince, a love that sparks redemption and changes their destinies forever. Stay tuned for this thrilling journey of love and courage. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young girl named OMA. She lived with her father, Bakoa, and her stepmother, Aku, in a village called Yuayu. OMA had lost her mother a few months after she was born, so her father had to marry another wife. Her stepmother, Aku, had two daughters with OMA's father, Bakoa. OMA's father was rarely at home because he was both a farmer and a hunter. He farmed during the day and hunted at night. OMA's stepmother, Aku, often mistreated her because of her beauty and the bright destiny they believed she had. OMA's father never paid attention to how Aku treated her. OMA was a stunning young girl who resembled her late mother. She was so pretty that everyone in the village admired her. However, because of Aku's treatment, OMA grew tough and strong. If anyone caused her trouble, she would fight back and beat them up. Despite her strength, she never challenged her stepmother. OMA was so strong that she could overpower two men at once, but her delicate appearance often deceived people. They wouldn't know her strength until they provoked her. Aku treated OMA cruelly, often accusing her of stealing, even though the accusations were false. She would beat OMA for no reason and assign her tasks that were far too much for one person to handle. Yet, OMA completed them without complaint. Aku seemed determined to ruin OMA's future, jealous of the bright path she believed OMA was destined for. As OMA grew older, she became weary of the constant mistreatment but didn't know how to change her situation. One evening, as darkness fell and the moon rose, Aku sent OMA to buy something from a faraway area in the village. That night, OMA walked along a lonely, quiet road. Suddenly, a man wearing a mask appeared in front of her. She stopped in her tracks. Though she was usually fearless, this time she felt a wave of fear. She turned around and saw another masked man behind her. OMA wanted to run, but they grabbed her and began beating her. The men intended to harm her further, but somehow, OMA managed to overcome her fear. Drawing on her inner strength, she fought back and overpowered them. OMA fought back fiercely, overpowering the attackers. One of them fled, but she held onto the other and beat him until he confessed. OMA demanded, "Why did you attack me? Why did you want to harm me?" Terrified and defeated, the man pleaded, "Please, have mercy on me. It was your stepmother, Aku, who sent us." It became clear that Aku had orchestrated the attack to ruin OMA's future. She had planned for OMA to be harmed and disgraced. Anger burned in OMA's heart, but she stopped beating the man and let him go. By this time, she had reached her breaking point. Determined to leave the house and escape her stepmother's cruelty, she realized she had nowhere to go. Meanwhile, OMA's village, Mofo, faced an imminent attack from the neighboring village, Umu. Umu was ruled by King Ego, a fierce warrior known for conquering other villages and claiming their lands. The conflict escalated as Umu began attacking Mofo in an attempt to seize their territory. The morning after OMA's attack, the king of Mofo sent out the town crier to make a crucial announcement to the villagers. "Our village is under attack," he proclaimed. "The king seeks volunteers, both men and women, to join the warriors and defend our community. Volunteers will receive 2 weeks of training, after which they will be stationed at the village boundaries to protect our lands. Those who join will be generously rewarded, and their families will be taken care of." Many men came forward, knowing that their survival and livelihoods depended on defending the village. OMA, eager to leave her home and start anew, decided to join the king's warriors. That morning, she packed her things, left the house, and went to the palace. She kept silent about the events of the previous night. At noon, the king gathered all the volunteers in the palace courtyard and addressed them. His gaze fell on Oma, and he called her to the front. "Young girl, are you certain you want to join the warriors?" the king asked, his voice filled with doubt. Oma stepped forward confidently. "Yes, my king," she answered. "I am strong, and I can do this." The king was astonished. Oma looked so young and beautiful that he had doubted her abilities. Yet, there was a resolute determination in her eyes. Without further question, the king accepted her. Soon after, training began for all the volunteers. 2 weeks later, the warriors were ready for battle. Before they set off, the village chief priest blessed them, praying for strength and victory. Together with the experienced warriors leading the way, they marched into the forest to take their positions at the village boundaries. As evening fell, the warriors of Umu launched their attack. The fierce battle raged through the night. Both sides fought valiantly, but by dawn, Mofo had defeated Umu. Most of Umu's warriors lay dead, while the injured survivors fled in retreat. The warriors of Mofo carried their own wounded back to the village for treatment. Amidst the chaos, Oma noticed a young, handsome warrior from Umu lying motionless on the ground. His name was Ego, and although he was badly injured, he was still alive. Weak and in pain, he looked up at Oma and whispered, "Please, don't kill me. Save me," the young warrior pleaded. "I'm dying. I didn't want to be here, but my father forced me. Please help me." Oma knew he was an enemy and wanted to leave him behind, but her compassionate heart wouldn't allow it. She secretly carried him back to Mofo village and hid him in a secluded area on the outskirts of the village. Oma stayed with him and began nursing him back to health. Since the king had promised to reward and care for all volunteers, Oma would often go to the palace to collect food, ensuring both she and the injured warrior had something to eat. As days passed, the young man began to recover. Sometimes, Oma would take him for walks to help speed up his recovery. Slowly, they started to grow closer. They often exchanged smiles and gazed into each other's eyes, feeling as if they had found a home in one another. Oma felt safe with him, and he felt the same. For the first time, both experienced a peaceful life they had never known before. The young man, now deeply in love with Oma, didn't want to return to his village. One day, while they were out walking together, a warrior from Mofo village saw them and instantly recognized the young man. He had seen him fighting alongside Umu warriors during the battle. The warrior rushed to the king, King Uku, and informed him of what he had seen. The king became enraged upon learning that Oma had brought an enemy into his kingdom. Furious, King Uku ordered his warriors to find them both and bring them to face punishment. The warriors searched for Oma and the young man and discovered their hideout, but the pair had already fled. Oma, realizing what had happened, had escaped into the forest with him. When the warriors returned to the king to report their failure, he ordered a thorough search of the entire region, commanding them to bring the pair back, dead or alive. Despite their efforts, the warriors couldn't locate Oma and the young man. Now, lost in the forest and unsure of their next move, the young man revealed his true identity to Oma, a truth he had kept hidden. He confessed that he was the crown prince of Umu village. He explained that he despised his father's cruelty and greed, as the king constantly waged wars against other villages to seize their lands. The young man had repeatedly urged his father to stop the fighting and land grabbing, but his pleas were ignored. His father had forced him to join the battle, believing it would make him stronger and help him mature into a true leader. When Oma saved his life, he had decided he would never return to Umu village, not wanting to be part of that life anymore. That was why he hadn't told her he was a prince. With sincerity, he begged Oma for forgiveness. Oma asked, "Why didn't you tell me this sooner?" "I'm sorry," he replied. "I was afraid you would reject me. I also didn't want to go back to my village." Moved by his honesty, Oma forgave him. The young prince then convinced Oma to go with him to Umu village, believing his people would accept her if they knew she had saved his life. Together, they traveled to Umu village. Since the battle, the village had been in great sorrow, mourning not only their defeat but also the loss of their prince, who was believed to be dead. The villagers blamed their king for everything that had happened, and the king himself had been consumed by guilt and sadness ever since. His regret over losing his son weighed heavily on him. That night, Oma and the prince camped in the forest under the quiet embrace of the stars. By morning, they arrived at Umu village, their footsteps cautious yet filled with purpose. From a distance, King Ego caught sight of his son, the son he believed was dead, walking toward him alongside a young woman. His heart skipped a beat, and he stood frozen for a moment, unable to believe his eyes. In an instant, the king ran to them, overcome with joy as he embraced his son. The grief and guilt that had weighed heavily on him for days dissolved. All that remained was the profound relief of seeing his son alive. Ego introduced Oma to his father, a pivotal moment that marked the beginning of a new chapter for both villages. "Father, this is Oma," Ego said with gratitude in his voice. "I was near death, but she saved my life. She is from Mofo village." King Ego was stunned to learn that Oma hailed from Mofo village, their former enemy. Yet, her bravery and kindness touched him deeply, and he welcomed her warmly, ensuring she was treated with the utmost respect. After hearing the prince's account, the elders of Umu village convened to address the challenges their village faced. Ego stood before them alongside his father, his voice steady yet resolute. "The warriors of Mofo village have grown stronger, and it's only a matter of time before they retaliate against us," he said. "We've already lost many of our men. The only way forward is to seek peace. Mofo village has always been a peaceful community, and I believe they will accept our apology if we approach them with sincerity." The king and elders, moved by Ego's wisdom, agreed to his plan. The next day, King Ego assembled a delegation of elders and warriors to journey to Mofo village and offer their heartfelt apologies, seeking reconciliation and peace. Oma and Ego accompanied the group as mediators, determined to resolve the conflict that had caused so much pain. When the delegation arrived at Mofo village, King Wuku, known for his peaceful leadership and kindness, welcomed them with grace. Oma stepped forward, sharing her story and vouching for Umu's sincere intentions. King Wuku listened carefully, his heart moved by their honesty and willingness to mend ties. In a magnanimous gesture, he accepted their apology and agreed to forge peace between the two villages. He also forgave Oma, choosing not to punish her for her actions and recognizing her courage and selflessness. With their grievances behind them, both villages pledged to live in harmony. The alliance brought renewed hope and prosperity to their lands, as the promise of unity replaced the scars of war. As time passed, the bond between Oma and Ego grew stronger. Their shared experiences had forged a connection that no obstacle could break. Their love blossomed, leading to a grand wedding that united Mofo and Umu in joyous celebration. Oma and Ego became husband and wife, beginning their life together in the palace of Umu village. Thank you for watching this captivating power of our African folktales. They are more than just stories, they are legacies, tale of love, bravery, and woven with wisdom, emotion, and the vibrant spirit of our people. If you enjoyed this tale, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to NaijaTrends TV for more powerful African stories, cultural treasures, and inspiring just like this one. We've got many more tales to tell, filled with mystery, magic, bravery, and heart. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the magic of African storytelling. Thank you for your support, and see you in the next adventure.